absolutely mind-blowing theories coming out of the scientific community about potential alien motherships in our solar system, and July 2025 has brought us some fascinating new developments that have both scientists and the public asking, are we really alone? Today, we're diving deep into the latest theories, research papers, and evidence surrounding the possibility of extraterrestrial motherships lurking in our cosmic neighborhood. From Pentagon officials to Harvard scientists, some of the most credible voices in the field are taking these ideas seriously. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear might change how you look at the night sky forever. Let's start with something that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. High-ranking Pentagon officials and respected scientists openly discussing the possibility of alien motherships in our solar system. The conversation really heated up when Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, head of the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, that's the government's official UFO investigation unit, co-authored a research paper with Harvard's Dr. Avi Loeb. Now, this isn't some fringe conspiracy theory we're talking about. These are legitimate researchers with serious credentials putting forward a hypothesis that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. The paper suggests that an alien mothership could be in the solar system, sending out tiny probes dubbed dandelion seeds to explore the planets within. Think about that for a moment. We're talking about a massive extraterrestrial vessel, possibly stationed somewhere in our solar system, deploying smaller reconnaissance probes to study Earth and other planets. Dr. Loeb, who you might remember from his controversial theories about Oumuamua, that strange cigar-shaped object that passed through our solar system in 2017, has been a vocal proponent of taking the extraterrestrial hypothesis seriously. He's argued that Oumuamua's unusual properties, including its elongated shape and unexpected acceleration as it moved away from the sun, could indicate artificial origins. The dandelion seed analogy is particularly intriguing. Just like dandelion seeds scatter in the wind to spread and explore new territories, these theoretical alien probes would be small, numerous, and designed for wide-scale exploration. The researchers suggest these probes could be so small and advanced that they'd be nearly impossible to detect with our current technology. Now, what's made July 2025 particularly interesting is the emergence of new research suggesting that a possibly hostile alien object could arrive in November 2025. While we need to be careful about the specifics, since much of this is still theoretical, the fact that serious researchers are putting timelines on potential extraterrestrial encounters is unprecedented. This isn't just wild speculation. The scientific community has been increasingly open to discussing these possibilities, especially after the Pentagon's own admission that they've encountered aerial phenomena that defy conventional explanation. We're talking about objects that can accelerate at impossible speeds, make sharp turns that would destroy any known aircraft, and appear to operate with technology far beyond our current capabilities. What's particularly fascinating about the mothership theory is how it could explain many of the UAP sightings we've been seeing. If there really is a large extraterrestrial vessel positioned somewhere in our solar system, perhaps in the asteroid belt, or even further out in the Kuiper belt, it would make perfect sense for it to send out smaller reconnaissance craft to study Earth. These smaller probes would explain the sporadic nature of UAP sightings. They wouldn't need to be here constantly. They could make periodic visits, gather data, and return to the mothership. This would also explain why UAP encounters often seem to involve craft that appear briefly and then vanish without a trace. From a strategic standpoint, positioning a mothership in the outer solar system would be brilliant. It would be far enough away to avoid easy detection by our telescopes and space agencies, but close enough to deploy probes that could reach Earth and other planets of interest. The travel time for these probes would be manageable, and the mothership would have a perfect vantage point to observe our entire solar system. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds like science fiction, not science fact, and you're right to be skeptical. But here's what makes this different from typical UFO conspiracy theories. The people proposing these ideas have serious scientific credentials and are approaching the subject with rigorous methodology. Dr. Avi Loeb isn't some fringe researcher. He's been the chair of Harvard's astronomy department, has published hundreds of scientific papers, and is widely respected in the astrophysics community. When someone with his background starts talking about extraterrestrial motherships, the scientific community pays attention. The Pentagon's involvement adds another layer of credibility. For decades, the US government denied or downplayed UAP encounters. The fact that they're now not only acknowledging these phenomena, but actively investigating them represents a seismic shift in official policy. We've seen the release of multiple videos showing objects that perform maneuvers that seem to violate our understanding of physics. The famous Tic Tac video shows an object that can accelerate from a standstill to hypersonic speeds instantaneously. The Go Fast and Gimbal videos show objects that appear to rotate and move in ways that no known aircraft can replicate. But it's not just video evidence. We have radar data from multiple sources confirming these objects. We have testimonies from highly trained military pilots, people whose careers depend on accurate observation and reporting. We have sensor data from some of the most sophisticated detection equipment in the world. The mothership theory provides a framework that could explain all of this evidence. If these UAPs are indeed probes from a larger extraterrestrial vessel, it would account for their advanced capabilities, their seemingly purposeful behavior, and their ability to appear and disappear without warning. Let's talk about the technology aspect, because this is where things get really interesting. If alien motherships and their probes exist, they would need to possess technology that's far beyond our current capabilities. First, there's the propulsion system. The UAPs that have been observed can accelerate at rates that would be lethal to any biological crew using conventional propulsion. We're talking about G-forces that would turn a human into paste. This suggests either unmanned craft, which supports the probe theory, or propulsion technology that somehow negates inertial effects. Some possibilities include manipulation of space-time itself, similar to theoretical warp drive concepts. Or perhaps they've mastered some form of anti-gravity technology that we can't even imagine. The fact that these objects seem to move through both air and water with equal ease suggests they might be manipulating the fundamental forces of physics in ways we don't understand. Then there's the materials science aspect. These craft appear to withstand enormous stresses without showing any signs of structural failure. They don't seem to generate heat signatures despite their high-speed maneuvers. They don't leave contrails or other evidence of conventional propulsion. The stealth capabilities are equally impressive. These objects can apparently appear and disappear from both visual and radar detection. This suggests either advanced cloaking technology or the ability to phase in and out of our dimensional space. Concepts that sound like science fiction, but are actually being explored in theoretical physics. If we're dealing with probes from a mothership, this makes even more sense. The mothership would serve as a mobile base of operations, carrying the advanced manufacturing and repair facilities needed to maintain and deploy these sophisticated reconnaissance craft. Now let's talk about what this could mean for humanity. If there really is an alien mothership in our solar system studying us with advanced probes, the implications are staggering. First, there's the question of intent. Are these hypothetical extraterrestrials merely curious observers, or do they have more active plans for Earth? The research mentioning a possibly hostile object raises concerns, though we need to be careful not to jump to conclusions based on limited information. From a scientific standpoint, contact with an advanced extraterrestrial civilization would represent the most significant event in human history. The technological knowledge we could gain would potentially solve many of humanity's greatest challenges: energy production, space travel, medicine, environmental restoration. But there would also be enormous risks. Any civilization capable of deploying motherships and advanced probes across interstellar distances would possess technology that could be used as weapons far beyond anything in our arsenal. The power imbalance would be so extreme that humanity would be completely at their mercy. There's also the sociological impact to consider. How would human societies react to definitive proof that we're not alone? Some religious and philosophical worldviews would need to be completely reconsidered. Our understanding of our place in the universe would be fundamentally changed. The economic implications would be massive too. Entire industries could become obsolete overnight if we gained access to advanced alien technology. On the other hand, new industries and opportunities could emerge that we can't even imagine yet. Of course, we need to address the skeptical perspective, because healthy skepticism is crucial in science. Many researchers remain unconvinced by the Mothership hypothesis, and they raise valid points. Some argue that the UAP phenomena can be explained by advanced human technology, perhaps secret military projects that use experimental propulsion systems. Others suggest that atmospheric anomalies, optical illusions, or sensor malfunctions could account for the observations. There's also the argument that if an advanced alien civilization wanted to study Earth, they would likely have technology so sophisticated that we'd never detect their presence at all. Why would they allow their probes to be spotted by our relatively primitive sensors? Another skeptical point is the lack of definitive physical evidence. Despite decades of UAP sightings, we still don't have unambiguous proof of extraterrestrial technology. No recovered materials have been definitively identified as being of non-human origin. However, it's worth noting that the absence of evidence isn't necessarily evidence of absence. If we're dealing with technology that's centuries or millennia ahead of ours, the lack of obvious physical traces might actually be expected. The key is maintaining scientific rigor while keeping an open mind. The researchers proposing the Mothership hypothesis aren't claiming certainty. They're suggesting it as a possibility that deserves serious investigation. So what should we be watching for in the coming months? If the research suggesting developments in November 2025 proves accurate, we might not have long to wait for answers. Keep an eye on official government releases about UAP investigations. The Pentagon has promised more transparency, and they've been gradually releasing more information and footage. Watch for developments from space agencies like NASA, ESA, and others. If there really is something unusual in our solar system, our improving space telescopes and detection capabilities should eventually spot it. Also, pay attention to peer-reviewed scientific publications. The Mothership hypothesis is still being debated in academic circles, and new research could either support or refute these theories. Whether or not alien motherships are really lurking in our solar system, one thing is clear. We're living through a fascinating time in the search for extraterrestrial life. The fact that serious scientists and government officials are openly discussing these possibilities represents a dramatic shift in how we approach the question of whether we're alone. The truth is, we don't know what's out there yet, but we're closer than ever to finding out. And if July 2025's developments are any indication, we might not have to wait much longer for answers. What do you think? Are alien motherships a serious possibility, or are we getting carried away by wishful thinking? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this developing story. Until next time, keep looking up.